Get to know Sophie, Countess of Wessex, who is ready to replace Prince Harry. Lately, the name Sophie, Countess of Wessex is often referred to as Prince Harry's successor in the ranks of senior royal members. Not without reason, Sophie did have all the qualifications for it. As King Charles navigates his new role in the firm, some changes are expected to be made as some royals are given different titles after the Queen's death. Sophie, the Countess of Wessex, could receive a new title as King Charles looks at slimming down the monarchy and giving out new titles. Prince William and Kate have already received their new titles as the Prince and Princess of Wales, but the new monarch is expected to hand out more titles as he works on modernising the royal family. It has been suggested Prince Edward could receive his late father Prince Philip's title as the Duke of Edinburgh. According to the Express page, Sophie and her husband, Prince Edward, are likely to succeed Prince Philip's titles, namely Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh. So, who is Sophie, Countess of Wessex, and why is she so loved by Queen Elizabeth II? Sophie wasn't actually a woman of royal blood. However, before she married Prince Edward, Sophie had a good career as a successful publicist. Apparently, this positive aura helped advance the image of the British Empire. When he joined as the grandson-in-law of Queen Elizabeth II, he was able to complete various important tasks well. He is even admired for having a great approach to running a charity that focuses on youth as well as children. When she married Prince Edward, royal observer Katie Nicholl said Sophie had mentioned the title as Princess Sophie, but the Queen would not allow it even though she was married to a prince. Instead, Prince Edward got the title Earl of Wessex on his wedding day, and his wife was known as the Countess, wife of an earl rather than the wife of a prince. Last year, Sophie's role in the royal family gained even more importance as she and her husband were given additional titles that could be worn in Scotland. 5 facts about Sophie, Countess of Wessex, Queen Elizabeth II's beloved daughter-in-law. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle officially stepped down as a senior member of the British monarchy on April 1st. Reportedly, Sophie, Countess of Wessex is being considered as Harry and Meghan's successor to carry out greater royal duties than Queen Elizabeth II. For those of you who are not familiar with Sophie, she is the wife of the youngest son Queen Elizabeth II, Prince Edward. The two married in 1999 and now have 2 children, Lady Louise Windsor and James, Viscount Severn. From the marriage, Prince Edward got the title Earl of Wessex, while Sophie got the title Countess of Wessex. According to royal biographer Katie Nicholl to Vanity Fair, Sophie initially wanted the title Princess, but was turned down by Queen Elizabeth. Meanwhile, employment expert Phil Dampier told Mail Online that following the departure of Harry and Meghan, Prince Edward and Sophie are expected to receive new assignments and titles. Prince Edward hasn't made such an impressive profile in recent years, while his wife, Sophie, has quite shined. Recently Sophie has been on a few trips overseas and doing really well, said Phil. Phil also predicts that one day, Prince Edward will get a new title, namely, Duke of Edinburgh. The title was previously held by Prince Philip, the husband of Queen Elizabeth II, since 1947. If that really happened, Sophie would automatically get the title Duchess of Edinburgh. To find out more about Sophie, Countess of Wessex, here, essay roundup of the facts for you. 1. Sophie was born in Oxford, England. The woman whose full name is Sophie Helen Rhys-Jones was born at Radcliffe Infirmary, Oxford, England on January 20, 1965. She is the child of Christopher Bournes Rhys-Jones, a retired salesperson, and Mary O'Sullivan, a charity worker and secretary. Closing parenthesis. Sophie started her education at Dulwich Preparatory School, then moved to Kent College, Pembury, England. After that Sophie entered at West Kent College, majored in secretarial. 2. Was involved in a scandal. According to a BBC report, after graduating from high school, Sophie worked at Capital Radio and Brian McLaurin's company. After that, Sophie started a business in the PR field which was named RJH. But in 2001, Sophie was involved in a scandal and had to leave her PR company. According to a Wall Street Journal report, at that time Sophie had made inappropriate comments against William Hague, the leader of the British opposition. In addition, the Countess also once made a comment against Prince Charles and Camilla, who was not married at the time, saying that the public did not want Camilla to become queen. 3. Had to experience drama before becoming a member of the kingdom. Before becoming a member of the British royal family, Sophie had to go through various quite complicated dramas. According to Cosmopolitan, just a month before her wedding in 1999, nude photos of Sophie were published in a British tabloid. For the incident, Buckingham Palace then released an official statement and Sophie also apologized to the public. 4. Sophie is said to be Queen Elizabeth II's favorite daughter-in-law. In addition to the various scandals and drama that Sophie has been through, it turns out that Sophie is Queen Elizabeth's favorite daughter-in-law. A royal biographer says that Sophie and the Queen have been close since their first meeting. The Queen considers that Sophie is the best example of outsiders, non-aristocrats, who come to the kingdom. Sophie is very much liked by the Queen, and you'll notice that whenever there's a family vacation or gathering, Sophie and Edward often stay longer than the others, Robert told the British paper. According to reports, Sophie also often drinks tea with the Queen. Even in a speech in 2019, Sophie referred to the Queen as Mama. 5. Sophie is dubbed the most stylish member of the royal family. Beside Kate Middleton and Meghan Markle, Sophie has also been dubbed the most stylish member of the royal family by some media. Sophie has managed to create her own fashion trends over the years, and is known for often combining hats and coats. In an interview with the Sunday Express, Sophie said, "I realize I get noticed a lot. When you walk into a room and people will talk about what you did in there, but they also want to know what you're wearing," she said. When asked who was the figure who contributed to her fashion style, Sophie said that she had never had a stylist and often made her own fashion choices.